Hi friends, welcome back to Brilliant Blue Reviews. My name is Heather, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you my review of the latest Disney Pixar release in theaters, Hoppers. Okay, I'm still a little bit iffy about the title. I think they could have come up with something better. But this movie exceeded my expectations. I didn't know very much about it at all going into it, but I was very excited to see another new Pixar release. You know, they've kind of gotten shoved straight to streaming in recent years, like especially during the pandemic. The last Pixar release, which I reviewed here on my channel, and I'll link that up here, was Elio last summer, which was okay. I've really been kind of rooting for Pixar because I love Pixar movies, and they've just kind of gotten kind of strange or not treated very well by the studio in recent years. Obviously, there is a second Disney Pixar movie coming out later this year, which is Toy Story 5. Now, I did not agree with the making of Toy Story 4 at all. I feel like we could just skip that one. But I am actually looking forward to Toy Story 5 because I like the concept of the plot and the story. Okay, but in this video, I want to focus on Hoppers, which came out on March 6th. My son Ben and I just saw it now 10 days later on March 16th. So it took us a little while to get to this movie, but we enjoyed it very much. We both would give it a 4 out of 5. I think my daughter Megan, when she sees it, she's probably going to end up giving it a 5. I think she's really going to like it. I didn't realize certain aspects of the story of Hoppers that are really kind of up Megan's alley, that she's really going to enjoy. The previews don't tell you much other than that there's this kind of Avatar-like situation where they can put the brain of a human into an animal, specifically in this movie, a beaver, okay? So it kind of doesn't tell you a lot more than that, but there is quite a bit more to the plot, which is really well done and interesting. It has some really terrific themes in it. The main character is first a young girl and then later a 19-year-old young woman named Mabel Tanaka. And from what we could tell by the animation of the scenery and everything, I would say that this movie was meant to depict the Pacific Northwest, maybe Northern California. Okay, that's where it takes place. It's really a very positive and encouraging message about people and animals working together to care for and preserve all of our home, which is the earth. It has a very environmentally forward, positive message. So that's nothing new to Disney. Disney does push a pretty forward environmental message, which I greatly appreciate. So I liked this a lot. There's also a lot of humor in this movie. It's very well done. It's fast paced. I think it was almost exactly 2 hours. I ran to the restroom during the previews, and I think there were 3 previews, and I missed 2 of them. And then I came back in during the preview for Toy Story 5, and then the movie started. They are not doing Pixar shorts at the beginning of Pixar movies anymore, which is a little bit disappointing, but I still really enjoyed getting to see a new Pixar film in the theater. I've missed that experience. There were 2 additional scenes. There was a mid-credit scene, which was really cute and funny, and there was a post-credit scene, which was very sweet and also a little bit funny. So make sure you stay all the way to the end of the credits so you don't miss that mid-credits and post-credits scene at the end of Hoppers. There are not many voice actors in this that you would recognize. There's one of the Francos, and now I can't remember which one it was. I want to say Dave. And then like another Franco. The main name that you would know as far as actors, and it's a voice actor, is Meryl Streep. Voices one of the characters. But it's not a huge part, so she's not like a main character or anything. But all of the voice actors did a very, very good job. I really liked the characters a lot. There was a nice mix of characters and representation, and it was very well done. I liked the story very much. So the basic gist is that this girl, Mabel, when she's young, she really loves animals. Her parents, or her mom at least, don't seem terribly interested in her, and it sort of seems like they kind of dump her off with her grandma. Her grandmother lives out in nature, and her jacket that she wears, which says Tanaka, it's like this color, okay? And then she always was wearing like khaki pants. She kind of looked like a park ranger of some sort. And they never really explain that, but you sort of are given the, inference that grandma worked somehow for state parks or national parks or something. And she's very into nature, and she kind of passes this love of nature and this connection to nature on to Mabel. And then we jump forward a little bit, and grandma has passed away. Mabel's parents moved across the country, it says, and she chooses not to go with them, and she stays behind and lives in her grandmother's cottage and goes to college. And then the other main characters in the movie, like the human characters, are a professor that Mabel has in one of her classes at college or university, and the professor's like two assistants, basically. Maybe they're research assistants or something like that. And then the mayor of Beaverton, which is the town that they live in. And his name is Jerry. He's a very significant character. The relationship between Mabel and her grandmother is very significant, but obviously her grandmother is already passed away for most of the movie. So in the present, if you will, two main relationships that are really kind of significant. One is Mabel and Jerry, the mayor of Beaverton. And that one's pretty funny. Okay, and then the other one is when Mabel does this hoppers thing and takes on the form of a robot beaver, is basically what happens. She befriends this beaver named George, and their relationship is really kind of touching and sweet and significant. There was more to the plot than you would expect. There's some interesting environmental messages. There's messages about relationships. There's, again, a lot of humor. I think the story was really well done. Something pretty major happens in the last part of the movie that's pretty kind of significant and could be a little bit alarming to young children, I would say. But everything ends up not only okay, but probably better than you would expect. The animation was really, really well done. Now, this is what we kind of observed. There's three aspects to the animation, I would say. This is yet again where Pixar really shines. It's in that nature animation, the animation of things like grass and trees and, plant life, if you will. The natural world is just absolutely stunning. I mean, they've got some scenes where leaves are blowing off trees in the wind and stuff, and water and things like that, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The people, the human characters in the movie, Ben said about Mabel, she looks like she's from the Croods. Croods, if you saw those movies. And he's right, she does. The people kind of have that sort of look to them. And then the animals in the movie do not look like real animals. They look very highly animated and fake. But in this movie in particular, the main thing I noticed about the animals was they were animated in a very cute way. That's what I would say about the animals. Even the ones that are supposed to be a little bit scary, they're all really, really cute. So this would definitely appeal to young children because the story isn't so complicated that young kids couldn't understand it. And they're really going to like all the cute animals. And there's a lot of funny stuff. Nothing obnoxious or disrespectful or anything like that. It's all very, very sweet and wholesome. And it's a good movie for the whole family. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Ben really enjoyed it. Young kids would enjoy it. It's good. I'm not sure what it's rated. I would say probably G or PG. I wouldn't have any reservations about taking your kids to this movie. There wasn't really anything, one episode of perilous situation near the end. There may be a couple of jokes that are going to go over the kids' heads, but nothing else that I would really warn you about. Maybe some themes of loss and grieving because of her grandmother dying. That's pretty much it. Overall, I think this was a really good movie. I'm really glad we got to go see it in the theater. The animation alone is worth seeing it in the theater. The story was really good. The humor was great. The animation was gorgeous as always and had very high quality. And it has some really neat positive messages to it. So I would highly recommend Hoppers. It's in theaters now. It's the latest Pixar release from Disney Pixar. Both my son Ben and I give it 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching this review of Hoppers. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.